What's growing on, gardeners? On today's video, I need to start some seeds, and I'm going to put a brand new line of seed starting trays to the test. This product promises to seriously upgrade my seed starting game. But is it all it's cracked up to be, or is it just another internet piece of junk? Let's find out together.
If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and check out my Amazon store and Spreadshop links in the video description for everything I use in my garden and awesome custom apparel and gear.
I start hundreds of transplants for my garden every single year, maybe thousands, and I typically do this in two different ways. For my high-value transplants, like my tomatoes, peppers, and melons, I usually use peat pellets, but for my lower value transplants like lettuces, brassicas, and such, I use standard 6-cell seed starting trays, and I either save old seed starting trays from transplants I've purchased in the past, or I go out and I buy bulk cheap seed starting cells like this. And usually these work out fine for what they are, but after a few uses, the trays tend to fall apart because when you need to release the seedlings, you have to squeeze the bottoms. And that causes cracking and splitting. I mean, plain and simple, these trays only last a few uses before they start falling apart. Well, I recently saw an advertisement for this new type of seed starting tray that I thought was a very interesting and unique design that I just had to try. This is not a sponsored video. I bought this with my own money, but it is such a unique and cool design, I thought to myself, I have to put this to the test in real time. I found these special segmented silicone bottom seed starting tray greenhouses that I thought really were an interesting evolution, and that is what you see right here. So you get a seed starting greenhouse bottom, and then you get these individual seed starting trays. And these seed starting trays have these silicone bottoms that you get to squeeze to pop out the individual seedlings. So I thought this modular design was very cool. These bottoms are not only very convenient because you can squeeze them without destroying the tray itself, but the tray itself is ultra heavy duty, at least compared to those throwaway seed starting cells that I typically buy. So I'm going to take these and I'm going to put the modular segments into the tray bottoms, and then on top of that we'll put this greenhouse lid, which comes with these individual vent controllers. So we'll snap them in. And there we have a very interesting modular set of greenhouse domes, and I bought a 4-pack of these. And I could use 3 of them today to start all of the transplants I want to start for my late winter garden. One of the things that I liked about these modular tray inserts is it looks like it's going to be very easy to fill them with potting mix, and I'm going to use a proper sterile seed starting mix because I'm starting these indoors. We don't want to use an outdoor mix. We want something that has no fungus, gnat, eggs, and has a small particle size. I'll link to a video both above and down in the video description that explains to you why this is so important. But what's cool about this is I think I can just stick it in this bag and really gently put that mix in and drag it across, and look, it'll come out pretty much partially filled. It was a little messy. That was my first time doing it, but it looks like this is going to be a whole lot easier than having to just throw the mix on a tray and just brush it around. So we'll repeat this process over and over again with all of the seed starting trays until they are all filled. Now that all of the cells have been filled with seed starting mix, I'm going to take one of the tray bases and use it to lightly compress the mix in all of the individual cells. And I also placed plant tags in all of the trays. And now that the cells are labeled, I'm going to use a process called overseeding to seed all of my seed starting trays. Overseeding is where you use more than one seed per cell because you need to account for the fact that seeds do not have 100% germination rates. It's better to have to thin your seeds because too many germinate than have cells where nothing pops up. One of my favorite little gardening hacks is to use a chopstick to do this because that allows you to easily open the seed packs. It also allows you to individually grab the seeds if you wet the tip of the chopstick. It also allows you to easily and precisely press the seeds down into each individual cell. That first tray I sowed was a blend of broccoli and 2 different types of cabbage. This time, the tray on the right is going to be a blend of different kinds of cauliflower and Romanesco. The rest of the tray is going to be a mix of bok choy and escarole, which I love. I'll put links in the description to all of these seeds. The tray on the left is going to be all giant Caesar romaine, which is my favorite type of lettuce. It's my favorite variety out there. So I'm dedicating an entire tray to that for the spring. Now that all of our seeds have been planted, we are going to take our seed starting mix and lightly cover all of the seeds. We're not going to bury them deeply. They only need to be covered by about 1/8 of an inch of mix. Then after that, we're going to use that tray base to once again lightly tamp everything down. Once everything has been lightly tamped, we're going to use one of those long spouted indoor watering cans to lightly water everything in and let that water facilitate the tamping down of the soil. And now I'm going to place my seedling greenhouses underneath my grow lights on a seedling heat mat set to 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to leave the greenhouse domes partially covered to maintain a little bit of humidity, but also let some fresh air in so I don't get a fungal condition. It will take about 7 to 10 days for the plants to germinate, maybe up to 2 weeks for the stragglers. It's February 28th, and it's time to check the progress of our nifty seed starting trays, and I must say, so far, I'm pretty impressed. The germination rates have been excellent, and I attribute that to both the humidity domes keeping proper even humidity and moisture and the ideal temperature of 73 degrees I used with my seed starting mat, which is ideal for germinating these cool crops like lettuces and brassicas. But the real test is how well the seedlings pop out of these nifty seed starting trays. Well, I spent the last 7 days progressively hardening off these transplants to the sunlight, so now they are finally ready to go out in my garden. So let's test these by transplanting them. So let's do a side-by-side comparison in ease of transplant between your standard plastic seed cells and these nifty silicon bottom seed cells. So here I have some Swiss chard that I started indoors in your standard plastic seed cells. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to squeeze the bottom and I'm going to do my best, come on, to lift this. And you have to keep progressively squeezing up or else they really get wrapped up in here. And that's one of the things that I don't really care for with a regular seed starting tray. You only get so many squeezes before it starts cracking on you like you see right here. And here we have a really good looking transplant. I'm very happy with the way this came out. But these have been in here for a pretty long time. And you know, no big complaints. It is what it is with these, just nothing special. Now let's see if these seed cells are any better. First thing you'll notice is the incredible rooting at the bottom of each of these. Wow, the roots here look absolutely fantastic. So I don't know if that has anything to do with these seed cells or if it's just a coincidence, but let's see if they're any easier to pull out of here. So if I take this and I squeeze this bottom, wow, that was definitely a lot easier to pull out. Wow, this is a piece of cake by comparison. They just shoot right out of there. And if the roots weren't so incredibly developed, it would be even easier. It was actually wrapping up in the bottom of the silicon. So far, pretty impressed. Okay, my initial impressions are I'm pretty impressed with how easy it is to deal with these seed starting trays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start separating these seedlings into piles. That way I can lay out my raised garden bed in neat organized rows. So the first thing I'll do is I'll pop out all of these gypsy broccoli. And wow, this would be a lot easier if the roots weren't so well developed, but they are so healthy and doing so well, it's actually slowing my progress down a little bit. So I have gypsy broccoli, I have Primo Vantage cabbage, but as you can see, the seedlings just pop right out of here like butter. You just give them a squeeze, you give them a pull, and there's no cracking with the seed trays like there is with the typical plastic ones. So my initial impressions are these are way better in pretty much every sense of the word. I mean, they just, wow, they just pop right out. And now I'm going to do the same exact thing with romaine lettuce, escarole, cauliflower, and bok choy that I started in these other 2 seed starting trays. And the reason why I'm going to pull them all and place them in piles first is because I want to lay out my bed exactly how I want the plants to go, so when it comes time to plant them and fertilize them, I can do it all in an efficient assembly line-like fashion. And we'll do this one more time in real time just so you can see how easily these come out. You just give them a little squeeze and these plants just pop right out like butter. This is, I will say, the more I use them, the more I go through this process, the more I realize how much easier it is to pull seedlings out of these silicone bases. You just give them a little squeeze and look at that, they pop right out. Even this little guy right here that has poor root development, that comes out so much easier than in comparative plastic seed cells. So really liking these. This really makes the transplanting process simple. Now all of my seedlings have been removed from the silicone trays and they're placed exactly where I want them to go. And I really mean this when I say this. This probably took less than half the amount of time to remove them from the silicone bottom cells versus regular plastic seed starting cells. And I didn't have any of them crack on me. No damage to the seedling trays. If I were to have used regular plastic trays, at least some of them would have cracked. So this is obviously a big time and long-term money saver versus paying for plastic cells. So now that the entire raised garden bed has been laid out the way I want it to be, I'm going to plant each individual seedling plug. I'm just going to take my hand and dig a shallow hole and then amend each planting hole with a little bit of a granular organic fertilizer and an organic bone meal powder to help strengthen the roots and help them get them off to a strong start. Then I'm going to compact around each individual plant and then water them in to finish the compaction process. And when you have the whole bed laid out the way you want it to be, a big raised garden like this only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to transplant, water in, and fertilize. And now we have a beautiful bed of brassicas and lettuces in and planted and ready to start another glorious growing season. And those seed cells, well, they certainly made transplanting a lot easier. And literally, as soon as I was done planting out that raised garden bed, I wanted to get these chard seedlings out of this standard plastic tray to transplant them as well. And look what happened. These are so hard to get out that despite squeezing the bottom and pinching, I fractured this transplant right off. So now that one's no good. And it is so difficult by comparison to get these small transplants out, especially this one right here. It's literally stuck. And I'm trying so gingerly not to rip them apart. And look what you have to do. You have to literally crush the cells in order to get them out. So I lost 1 out of 8. So it looks like I'm only getting 7 out of an 8-pack. So overall, I'm pretty impressed and happy with this product, and I would definitely buy it again and recommend it. Now, that being said, just to avoid any confusion, this is not some incredible heavy-duty product that is built to last generations that you'll be passing down to your grandkids. This is of enhanced quality, but I wouldn't call it super heavy-duty. Is this vastly superior to your standard 6-cell seed trays made out of plastic? Yes, definitely, but I think this is more designed to be a medium-duty product, and it's priced accordingly. It's not a very expensive item, so I would expect somebody with light-duty use to get something like 10 years out of this product, or if you're like me and you're using it many, many times over the course of a year, probably more like 5 years. But that's way better than your typical plastic products that sometimes only last a few seasons. So I am happy with the quality for the price. That being said, it made the transplanting process dramatically easier. You're going to lose less seedlings during the process, like I lost that Swiss chard because it wouldn't come out of that stupid plastic seed tray. And the humidity domes definitely enhanced the germination rate. So I know that I got more seeds that popped up than had I not had a humidity dome. That being said, if I had to give this one little bit of criticism, I would like to see $1 worth of additional plastic put into the bases. I think the bases could be a little tougher, but considering that we're only dealing with 20 cells per, you don't need a lot of mass there. So overall, I give it a thumbs up and I would recommend. So if you're looking for a better seed starting tray that you're going to get better germination, that is going to be a lot easier to transplant and is not very expensive, I do recommend these. And I'll place links down in the video description to this exact product if you want to give it a try. It's pretty inexpensive. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you're notified when I release more videos like these. I place direct links down in the video description to these seed starting trays, as well as everything else I featured in this video. And while you're down there, check out my Amazon storefront link in the video description for everything I use in real life in my yard and garden. You can also check out my website, themillennialgardener.com, for all things gardening and custom merch if you want to support my channel. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. What's pup, Daly? Are you sun puddling on this glorious, beautiful day? It is a lovely 78-degree, crystal clear blue sky day. It's starting to get really warm, but there's still no humidity, and Dale is in his element. But if I know my Dale, he's only going to last about 5 to 10 minutes in this position before he wants to go right back indoors because he's going to start getting hot. Isn't that the case, Mr. Handsome? Do you have anything to say to the camera? Do you want to say anything to your fans? No, he wants to rest. I'm going to let him go. That's a good looking lawn ornament right there.